Quick review, 8.48 out of 10. Risk Global Domination. It's Risk, but online and free to play. But if you have no idea how Risk works, the game has been made simple and streamlined enough that you can ask a friend to join you and you'll be ready to play in like 2 minutes after installing the game. The goal of Risk, which started out as a standard board game, is to take over the entire world. You do this through territory control, army movement, and luck of the dice gods, really. Risk is one of those games where the rich get richer and the poor get thrown into the evening stew. I'll explain. Every turn, you're giving more troops to deploy around the battlefield as you wish. The number of actual fighting units is dependent on the amount of raw territory you control. Additionally, you'll receive bonus units for holding entire continents. The larger ones are worth more, and the smaller ones are worth less. So, the more stuff you hold, the more stuff you get to hold more stuff with. Having Australia here is one of the original MVP strats because it only had one entrance, and many of the other continents are like that. It's sort of a trade-off of risk versus reward. But I personally am a fan of trying to hold Europe here because it's got the best bang for your buck, in my opinion. Anyways, each turn you receive your units. You can place them wherever you want on a space you control, generally, and an unceremonial lump that you would toss onto the board while staring down your friend. Both of you knowing what was coming, him reaching for the defender dice, you lazily wiping pizza from your greased hands. These little moments, however, are a little obfuscated by the digital medium, so you'll just have to imagine the tingly fear sticking in your enemy's eyes. Probably the best thing about this digital port from the classic game is the troop movements being much quicker, and overall combat being whittled down to pressing the auto-resolve button. That might seem a little sad for purists out there, but I didn't really feel like I gained a whole lot by rolling 40 dice, so there's that. And yes, there's a bit of back and forth that's lost. The smack talk, when a single unit defeats an entire group of 10 men in the world's most unlikely series of dice rolls. It's sad losing that, but between me and you, again, totally worth it. You get to actually play more Risk this way. The computer crunches the numbers and moves the people. You keep your head down and looking more on the high level of the gameplay, making strategic decisions. There's also a few really nice additions put into the game that only work in a digital world, like Fog of War. You become a lot more cautious of overextending yourself around any corner where lurking a horrifying army resembling Genghis Khan's flexed bicep could be there, ready to earmark your map for their pleasure. It also makes attempting to kill your opponent for their risk cards a lot more gambly because you don't know exactly where the last remaining pieces live. Additionally, the game also now has a zombie AI you can plop in your battles, unfeelingly striking out and trying to consume all of its weaker territories nearby. When it takes over an army, it gains half the dead back into its own force, really allowing a snowball effect to happen when you least expect it. The only positive is when you attack to reclaim the territory, the zombies lose that defender bonus and you gain it as the attacker. Overall, it's pretty cool. This game is actually free and runs on a token system, so as long as you don't try to play like 100 games in a day, I found no problem staying within the pretty generous daily limit. They provide a small rotation of free maps for you to dawdle around in, and they have a couple challenge modes you can try out as well. And if you want to pay for the full experience, I think it's like $12, which honestly isn't that bad. However, for me, the free edition was perfectly fine and satisfied my risk strategy needs. Anywho, if you like the content, please leave a like. If you don't like the content, please leave a comment and a like. Gotcha. Sneaky. Always read the fine print.